Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to the dinner table, my brother and sister. Your brother Tony had made a good meal for you tonight. So come on in, get comfortable, sit down, and go ahead and invite some more family members and friends. And keep in mind, we may have some guests. So leave some room for some guests to sit down and share some of this good food with them, okay? I hope that you brothers and sisters had a good day today, a good blessed day. Your brother Tony, he had an excellent blessed day himself, and he got something real good that's prepared for you all this evening. If this is your first time at the dinner table, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tony M. Toomer, and I talk about relationships. I talk about relationship basically from a spiritual point of view. When I say spiritual, I strongly believe in the concept of the book of Genesis, where God, he had a unique relationship with the man and the woman. He brought the woman to the man in the present God. Adam said, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. I should call a woman because she came from man. That's my position. So it's very clear. That's my position. I believe in the position God started a relationship off with. He had a unique relationship with the man first. He had a unique relationship with the woman, and he brought the woman and man together, and he mended their minds, their emotion, and their wills together spiritually, okay? And God's son Jesus is the foundation of the relationship. Now, you have another concept of relationship. You have what's called free will. You could do whatever you choose to do, but I encourage you to sit at the dinner table. Maybe you could learn something from what I'm talking about, okay? With that said, we're about to look at the menu and see what's on the menu for tonight. However, my brother and sister, I would like to inform you that I'm on two different platforms. I'm on the book and I'm on the tube. Those of you that are on the tube, I may make a comment to those that are on the book. You may not see their name or their comment, but I will mention their name and comment every now and then. And vice versa, those of you on the book, I may say something to those that are on the tube. You may not see their names and their comments, but I will mention their names and comment every now and then. For all of you, if you have a question or comment while we're sitting at the dinner table, by all means, I would like for you to feel free to express yourself, but be very respectful because we may have some guests, okay? So be very, very respectful and ask your question and make your comments. How you doing, Sister Pamela Simmons from Dallas? How you doing, Sister? Y'all see you done pull up a chair for the dinner table, and the rest of you brothers and sisters come on in. Now, on the menu for tonight, a woman must do these things to attract and keep a good man. Again, a woman must do these things to attract and to keep a good man. Now, there are a lot of single women out there. I mean, a whole lot of single women out there that ask this one particular question: where are all the good men's? That's what they ask. Where are all the good men's? Now, believe me, my brothers and sisters, there are a lot of good men, especially you single sisters that have desire to be in a serious, committed, covenant relationship. There are a lot of good men, but they're hid in plain sight. And by them hid in plain sight, some women, they don't display wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and discernment, which are keys in how to attract and to keep a good man. And that's what we're going to discuss at the dinner table tonight. Now, let's go and get our appetizer before we get into it. We're going to go to 1 Peter 3. That's 1 through 4. That's 1 Peter 3, 1 through 4. 1 Peter 3, 1 through 4. And it is written, wives, respect and obey your husband in the same manner or the same way. Then the husband do not, if the husband does not obey the word of God as he would want him to do, they will know. Let me back up. Listen to me carefully. Wives, respect and obey your husband the same way. Then the husband who do not obey the word of God will want to know God. So, sister, you have a vital role in the possibility of saving a man, especially your husband. Okay, again, it said, "Why respect and obey your husband in the same way?" Then the husband who do not obey the word of God will want to know God. and they will want to know God by you, sister. They will want to know God because their wives live good lives, even though they say nothing about God. Now, there's a strong possibility that a woman don't have to badger her husband with God, 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 but it's based on how she talk and how she treat him, okay? So again, it say they will want to know God because their wives live good lives, even though they say nothing about God. That they will see that you live holy lives and respect your husband. You should not be fine on the outside only. Some women make their hairs nice and they wear jewelry. They have fine clothes, but you must find in your heart, have a heart that is a gentle and quiet spirit that will not wear out, and God think is worth very much. Sister Pamela said there are some good men, but some do not want to be accountable to the word of God. I mean, good men. I mean, sister, I know what you were talking about. Now, sisters, if you want to attract and if you want to keep a good man, this is the key. I say attract and keep a good man, not just a man. You to draw this man to you, and when this man advance towards you to want to be in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship, he's a keeper. The key thing is to keep attract and to keep a good man. Now, sisters, it's okay to look nice and everything on the outside because that's really what get men's attention anyway, how you look. But you got to understand, if it's a godly man, he tries to look at a woman from God's point of view, okay? Because you see, God look at the heart, not on the outside, okay? So if it's a godly man, he wants to know what's going on the inside of you beside what he see with his naked eyes, okay? So these are 7 points that I need to make, and I made them earlier on another platform, but I'm going to talk to you all about it, okay? There are 7 points that I need to make tonight. Number 1, sister, if you want to attract and keep a good man, one of the main things you need to do, number 1, is respect the man. Sister, you just don't know. Respect go a long way with a man. That's how men equate love, other than how you sisters are equate love, okay? Because see, sister, with love, how you are, you got more of a romantic mindset and you're more emotional when it comes to the relationship. You see, men and women don't think the same, and men and women don't feel the same. You understand? Because due to your makeup. So when I say makeup, I'm talking about the makeup on the inside, your soul, because we all have minds, will, and emotion. But the woman normally operate on the emotional, and the man mostly operate on the analytical, the thinking. So this is where it comes from. So, sister, you have a viewpoint of how to love a man, but is it the right viewpoint? And if you want a man to love you, sister, you need to do these things. And number 1, you must respect the man. When you respect a man, a good man, that man check off you respecting him as a good quality. Because there are a lot of women that just do not respect men. That's why there are a lot of women that's gonna stay single. The only company they're gonna have is a little dog or a little cat, but they want a man. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a little dog or cat, but they want the company of a man. But the only company you're gonna have is your little dog or little cat, because you don't know how to respect the man. There's a lot of sisters that don't know how to respect the man. I ain't even talking about these word women. You know, I talk to my Christian brothers and my Christian sisters. So, sisters, you got to understand, respect the man. That's the one thing that you need to understand. You must respect the man. You must honor the man. especially if you're talking about being serious, committed, and moving towards a covenant relationship. You must respect the man. Number two, and this is a key thing, sister. Number two, be mindful when the man is talking to you. Do not interrupt him while he's talking. That is a major no-no, sister. When a man is talking, there are some women that are so rude, so inconsiderate. It's just like this. There are a lot of women that will say stuff like this to a man. We need to talk. That's what a lot of women say. We need to talk. So, you know what a lot of men think when a woman said we need to talk? What have I done? Or what, I mean, it might not be good. That's the first thing most men, because they're accustomed to it. You know what I mean? They're accustomed to a lot of women coming off to them like that. But sister, you shouldn't be that way. A lot of times these guys, these Christian men, they have ran into worldly women. They don't want no part of worldly women. They want a woman of God, a godly woman. So worldly women, they have a habit of cutting men off. They do. They really do. They have a habit of, when a man trying to express his thought, if he's not talking quick enough or whatever, she just have to cut him off and start talking. Or like sometimes the woman said, we need to talk. So when the conversation start, the woman start talking, right? And when when he think that the woman is finished, when he start talking, after the woman has expressed all her thoughts, and now if the man turn to talk, then she cut him off. That's one of the worst things you could do, sister. Cut a man out while he's talking. If you cut a man out while he's talking, you know what he's going to do? He's going to go into shutdown mode. That's what most men do. When you keep cutting them off, because that goes back to number one, that's a sign of no respect for the man. If you respect the man, even though you know you may want to make a comment towards the man, hold your comment. Unless, if you have a problem with cutting a man off, what you need to do is have a pen and a sheet of paper and write down what you want to say when he finished. That's what you need to do. I'm trying to help some of you sisters out if you are trying to attract and keep a good man. Number three, keep your personal business at home. This is a major flaw of a lot of women. What do I mean a major flaw of a lot of women? Sister Pamela say we have to be good listeners. Amen. So what does it mean to keep personal business in-house? That means, sister, and I know some women will say, well, what about men? We're not talking about men. What we got at the dinner table tonight, a woman must do these things to attract and to keep a good man. That's what we're talking about tonight, okay? So if you want to attract and keep a good man, this is the type of man we're talking about, a good man, stop telling all your business to your family. Stop telling all the business to your girlfriends. Your girlfriends, because a lot of you sisters, single sisters, you hanging with single women that aren't even in a relationship. They got a half of a man. They got a 1/3 of a man. They don't have a full man. You talk to some of your girlfriend that go from one relationship to another. They don't even know, they can't even keep a relationship. And a lot of some of you, so you need to listen to this. Some of the women that you listen to, you got some girlfriends that play the part of a victim. A lot of women play the part of a victim and they go through a series of men, and they wonder why men go to another woman. What a lot of women do not understand is this: what's the common denominator? You are. Why you can't keep a relationship? Why you allow men to come into your life and then they bounce on you in a short period of time? Like I have told you, sisters, many a time, I'm going to tell you tonight. when you meet a man know within a short period of time whether he sees you as a wife or not. Just like Boaz, when he seen Ruth, he knew within a short period of time, he seen that he would like a future with Ruth. He seen where he wanted to do things with Ruth. You understand? He seen that in Ruth. So he seen why qualities in Ruth. He seen that Proverb 31 woman in Ruth. That virtuous woman, that's what he's seen. So if it's a godly man, he's looking for the spirit that's kind of like Ruth's spirit. You understand? You need to study that. But anyway, keep your personal business in-house. There are so many women that tell other women, their family members, their co-workers, and social media, everything about what's going on, and they looking for advice from other people. Especially when they go social media, they want to talk about their man, and more than likely, the man don't even know that they posted some out there on social media about how to handle an issue. Me and my man going through all this and that. What do you think? Then you get all these counselors that want to come and give advice to some of you sisters on what's going on in your house. And most of the advice that you get from people, they are negative advice. You really do not get no good advice from a whole bunch of your single women friends. Why are your women friends, why they continue to be single just like you? Because, like I said, number one, they don't know how to respect the man. They don't know the art. They don't have the keys on how to respect the man. Number two, again, be mindful not to interrupt the man while he is talking. That's for a lot of women that like to cut off the man while he's talking. That's a big sign of disrespect. Number three, keep your personal business in-house. That's one big thing that a lot of men don't like. You tell them what's going on up under that roof and those four walls. If you really want to call a man to distance from you, now listen, sister, if you want a man to be transparent with you, he has to trust you, okay? He got to trust you. But if he know that he got a motor mouth, and you know how he could tell that he got a motor mouth? Because a lot of women, they tell everything what everybody told them. So he knows if you tell everybody else's business, you would tell his business. He know it. But you want him to be close to you, right? He will breadcrumb you some information, but he's not going to trust you with a whole lot of things. Number four, and this is a biggie, stay attractive. Just because the man is with you, don't let up. Don't let up. You looked at attractive when he found you. Continue to be attractive. You got to do some work, sister, because men are attractive based on what they see. And a lot of times, while a man approach you based on how you look. Now, if you get real lax and you don't fix yourself up, now it's important what's on the inside, how you are, okay? The man, a godly man, he looking at how your character on the inside, okay? That you're a virtual woman, but he still got eyes, okay? This man is a spiritual being, plus he got a soul, okay? Now, from the soul and the physical part, he would like to see you attractive. Now, you don't have to be like June Cleveland and Lucy a long time ago, where they used to wear dresses every day and pumps and stay at home and cooking everything. That's TV. Now, there are some men that probably in that world, but that's TV, okay? The man, he wants you to be attractive. He don't want you walking around with rollers all in your head every day. And here go and this is a big thing some women do, and they think it look good. What you call those bonnet things? Why some of you women walk around in public with a bonnet on? It ain't nothing attractive about a bonnet. Nothing at all. That's pure laziness, a bonnet. Now, let me tell you something. This one thing, and I'm not putting my wife up on no pedestal. I'm not putting her up on no pedestal, but let me tell you about Cinderella right there. Let me tell you about her. Since we've been together, I never seen her unprepared. Now she has some makeup on before she go to bed. She'll take the makeup off, but everything else, Cinderella be together all the time. Now, if she don't be together, I might not be around, but every time I see Cinderella, she always look appealing. From the head to the toe, she always look appealing. She never got to the point where she laxed up. And we've been together for some years. She never got to that point. Now, there are some women that they don't want to keep themselves up. And that's why, and they lazy. They are pure lazy. So if you want to attract and keep a good man, stay attracted even on the outside. He's looking on the inside now, but stay attracted on the outside. Number 5, represent him well in public. Whether he's around you or not around you. This is a thing that could come back and hurt a man. If God had placed a man somewhere that's he got a lot of influence, don't you know, sister, how you carry yourself will reflect on that man. It will really reflect. So if you out with your family, if you out with your friends and your husband is not around, you still got to represent. You cannot lax, because whatever you doing reflect on a man. Let me give you a good example, and you all have witnessed this. Let's go back to Barack and Michelle Obama. Let's talk about that particular couple. We know that they are humans. We know that if they're human, they have had storms in their relationship. But one thing about it, when we got exposed to Barack and Michelle Obama, if they had any problems in the house, it wasn't leaked out to nobody didn't talk about it, because guess what? They kept it in-house. Especially she kept it in-house. What's the thing about Michelle Obama? She respected her husband. She respected him. Another thing, when you listen to when they be on interviews and stuff, when he talked, she don't interrupt him. She never cut him off. She keep things in-house, but she would let you know that she's a human, but she kept serious thing in-house. When you looked at Michelle Obama in public, she always was together, right? She was always together. When you see Michelle minus Barack, she represented him well in public. Just think about it. She represented him well in public. Your man might not be the president, sister, but you still supposed to represent him well in public, based on how you talk, based on how you move, and how you dress. Look how Michelle used to represent her husband in public. She was always together. She didn't play like she was from the streets. You didn't see her acting crazy, doing a whole bunch of reveling, did you? You didn't see that, because she knew she had to respect her husband, she respected herself, and she had children. Because everything Michelle was doing, it was going to affect her husband, and it was going to affect her children. So what a woman do in public, it has a whole bunch of bad. Let me give you another example. I have used it before. Denzel Washington, right? We know about Denzel Washington, do we not? We know about him, okay? The thing about Denzel Washington, he believe in God and he make it publicly known. When you see Denzel going to an award show, who else do you see? Who do you see walking down the red carpet with him? How you doing, Sister Cynthia and Jan? Welcome to the dinner table. Who do you see walking down the red carpet with Denzel Washington? His wife, right? His wife walked down. His wife be together. You know what he said about his wife? He said this publicly about his wife. He said that she was holding him down when he was trying to establish himself. She held him down and she held the children down. Like when he had to go do movies for months and months somewhere else, she held it down. He always praised his wife. Godly men praise their wives. They always say something good about their wives. Godly men don't go out in public talking negative about their wives. They don't talk to their boys negative about their wives or other people. They don't do it. I can tell you this, my brother and sister. There's not one person right now, even if some of my family members looking at this right now, or friend, there's not one person that could say they heard me say anything negative about Cinderella. There's not one man alive, and there's not one woman alive that could say that they heard me say something negative about Cinderella. Never. And how I see it, you ain't no hard to see it. If I have an issue with Cinderella, you know who's gonna know it? That's between Cinderella, me, and God. I'm not gonna blast my wife with my boys my guy friend. I'm not gonna blast my wife in front of them. I'm not gonna blast my wife in front of nobody. And guess what? To my knowledge, she don't blast me in front of no one. To my knowledge, she doesn't. So a good woman, she's gonna represent her husband in public. How she talk, how she behaves, how she dress. Good women, when they represent their husband in public, they don't go around making it seem like they open for business. They don't go around dressing like street women. They don't go around acting loose in clubs and stuff like that. They are well respected. They have wisdom. They have knowledge, understanding, discernment. Virtuous women. Top of the line women. Not no Miss Universe. These are spiritual women, daughters of God. Number 6, be wise. If you want to attract and keep a good man, be wise. Notice I didn't say be smart. Notice I didn't say be intelligent. Because when you're wise, being wise trumps being smart, it trumps being intelligent, and it trumps being articulate. What is wisdom? What is being wise? Wise is the ability to see things from God's point of view. That's what being wise is. It's called wisdom. So when a woman has wisdom, she have knowledge, and she used that wisdom to be able to apply the knowledge that she has because she have understanding. And when she have understanding, she have good discernment. She could see behind the curtain because she had the Spirit of God. So when someone comes up to her, God let her know what's in front of her, and she don't have to say nothing. That's being a wise woman. And then number 7, a key thing in attracting and keeping a good man, never place no one or anything in front of him. This would cause a lot of men to walk away, good men to walk away from women. Good men walk away from women because You place other people in front of him. You place other things in front of him. The only person or thing that you place in front of a good man, your husband, is God, Son Jesus. There's no one or nothing that comes before your husband than Jesus. And I'm talking to some of you sisters that got children. Some of you sisters got married, then you had children, and now you put your children before your husband. You never put your children before your husband. The only person that comes before your husband is Jesus. And that's how a man's supposed to be. He don't supposed to put no one in front of his wife but Jesus. That's where a whole lot of women, you have a problem. Now let me get nitty-gritty with some of you sisters. Some of you sisters that are single, right? Now I'm gonna lose some of you all right here. I'm gonna lose some of you. I know that because you're not gonna see it. And I'm talking about some of you Christian sisters. If you got children, listen carefully. If you got children and you decide to get married, you had these children before you about to get married to this man. The question is, who's gonna come after Jesus? Are your children coming before your husband? Answer that question. Should your children come before your husband? There are some women that they let the man know their children first, and we talk about grown children too. Now we understand if the woman has small children and they need her care. A man should understand that. However, in that decision-making factor, that woman needs to understand the principle. And the principle is the pattern. And the pattern is the priority. What is the priority? As it is written, God's word, it states, God is the head of Christ. Listen to that. God is the head of Christ. Point 2, Christ is the head of man. Christ is the head of man. Point 3, man is the head of the woman. Man is the head of the woman. Now let me put it all together. God is the head of Christ. Christ is the head of man. Man is the head of the woman. That's the divine order. Just like this, some of you guys, is free of charge. If you got your mama in front of your wife, you don't understand priority. I know you love your mama. Your mama gonna always be your mama, some of you Christian brothers. She's gonna always be your mama. But when you get married, you become one flesh with your wife. You never become one flesh with your mom. And you sister, you're not one flesh with your children. You become one flesh with your husband. So some of you single sisters that already got children, if you don't understand your husband, he's going to have priority over your children. If you're going to have a problem with your husband having priority over your children, my recommendation, don't get married. Because you're out of order. But there are a lot of sisters that you already have children. You get married, but you want to be the apple of your husband's eye, right? You want to be top notch in your husband's life, but when it comes to him, you want to put him behind, right? I'm going to tell you this, and some of you have heard this story before. Some of you have, some of you haven't. There was this young lady that I was dating a little while before I seen Cinderella. You know what turned me off with this woman? Let me tell you what turned me off. She wanted to get married, right? And I was contemplating on marrying her. I contemplated on it. But this is what happened. Some of you have heard the story. Buckle up, because you're going to hear it again. Because there's some more people at the dinner table never heard it before. This particular lady, we talked about the possibilities of getting married. And this is the test. I gave her a test and she flunked. She flunked this test and she was not able to retake the test. When I gave her the test, it was a final. It was the final. And this was on the test, what I gave to her. I said, if we get married, I said, I want you to get a sheet of paper. And I want you to write on a sheet of paper the 5 most important things in your life if we got married. I want you to put 5 things on a piece of paper that would be important to you if we get married. And then she said, what? I said, you heard what I said. I said, I need 5 things. I need 5 things. So I said, do you understand? She said, yes, Tony Toomer. I understand the question. I understand, Tony Toomer. And then I said, okay, I'll call you back in about an hour or so. You know what? Since it was the finals, I gave her more liberty. I gave her some time. When I called her back, it was time to turn the paper in. The finals to see whether or not she passed the course, right? So I said, read to me on that sheet of paper the 5 most important things that would be important to you if we got married. I said, do you understand the question? She said, yes, Tony Toomer. I said, what did I just say? She said, look, Tony Toomer, you said put down the 5 most, she was getting frustrated. You said put down the 5 most important things to me if we got married. I said, yes. I said, now read them to me. This is what she said, my brothers. And this is what she said, my sister. This is how she flunked the finals. She said this. She said, if we were married, then she calmed down. She said, if we were married, check this out. She said, my children are going to be first. You see what she said? She said, my children are going to be first. She said, my mother is going to be next. She said, my job third. She said, we get a house together. That's 4th. And she said, you. Now, listen to this. Let me go back over. When I was checking the final paper, I said, now, will you tell me that, will you run that by me again? She said, okay, Tony Toomer. She said, my children going to be first. My mother is second. My job is third. You and I get a house together. That's 4th. And you and I together. That's 5. That's 5 of the most important things that will be important to me. I said, you know what? We can't go no further. You all remember that song by Dennis Edwards said, don't look any further. I wasn't going to look no further with that sister. You know why? Because I said, you know what you just told me? I said, do you know why I asked you to write those things down on a piece of paper? She said, why? And I said, because I knew you were going to write on that paper the most important things that were going to come to your mind. And you just told me the most important thing that come to your mind. I said, you know what? You didn't even put God in the equation. I said, if it was me, if you would have asked me that question, I said, this is what I would have had on the paper. I said, I would have had God. I would have had you. I would have had my family members and all other things after that. I can list a career, a job, a hobby, anything. But the 3 are the top of the 5 going to be God first. It's going to be you. And then it's going to be family. And all other things come after that. She got quiet. You could hear a cricket. Needless to say, that was short-lived. I needed to hear that. You understand? God opening it up, and I wasn't even thinking about how to do that. But when we were talking about being married, God put that in my mind to use that strategy, so it flushed her out. That's how God open it up so I could see it. And when God opened it up through that final, when she took the final, the light was on her and I was able to see it. I never did that to no woman before, but God put it in my mind to do it this way so I could know. And there was not going to be no confusion, because God is not the author of confusion, but peace. So again, sisters, if you would like to attract and keep a good man, that's the key. And what do I mean by a good man? I mean a man that's following God's son Jesus. That's the only good man I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a man that's good as far as the world go, that could pay your bills and he do little kind gestures to you and stuff like that. He's not a good man. Let's be real, he's not a good man. You may think he's a good man because the Bible clearly said there is no righteous, no, not one. The Bible clearly said that our righteousness is like filthy rags. That's what the Bible said about us. It said our righteousness is like filthy rags. The only way a man is going to be deemed good is a man that have been saved by God's son, Jesus Christ. That's the only way he's going to be good. And the good part about the man, Jesus is going to be inside that man to teach him, guide him, and show him how to be a good husband, not a good boyfriend, not a good live-in, not a good boo. Christian men move towards going across that third hurdle. What is the third hurdle? The first hurdle you jump over is being serious. The second hurdle man jump over is commitment. And the third hurdle man jump over and cross the finish line is the covenant part. Covenant part is marriage. I always tell you, my brother and sister, I'm going to say it again. God does not recognize a relationship. I'm going to lose some of you all tonight. Some of you brothers and sisters, God does not recognize the relationship boyfriend and girlfriend. He doesn't recognize the relationship or living together. Anything other than engage, moving towards with a marriage date, he acknowledged that because he know that that man and woman about to jump that final hurdle, being engaged or betrothed. And then the real final, when you actually cross the finish line to get that medal, you're married. You say, I do. That what please God. Anything other than that does not please God. None. It doesn't. So brothers and sisters, the brothers tonight, they were just here listening basically. And this message is more so for you sisters, how to attract and keep a good man. Remember, number one, respect the man. Number two, be mindful not to interrupt the man when he's expressing thought to you, because if you cut him off, he's going to shut down on you. Number three, keep all the personal business in-house. Do not share it with your family. Do not share it with your girlfriends. Do not share it with your co-workers. Do not share it with social media, and don't share it with no side man. Number four, stay attractive. You are a good godly woman on the inside. That is very attractive. But the secondary part, you need to look good for that man consistently. Number five, represent him well in public. You're not in the circus. You're not a clown. So don't go out there trying to perform to get the applause of others. Number six, be wise. How you doing, Sister Flo? Welcome to the dinner table. And number seven, don't place anyone or anything in front of him but God. Now, I have given you 7 keys, sisters. 7 keys on how to attract and keep a good man. If you take what I just presented to you at the dinner table, it can help you quite a bit. If you reject it, Whereas you were going north, you're going to go south. I have just given you a recipe, sister, at the dinner table on how to attract and keep a good man. I didn't say men, plural. I didn't say a man. I specifically said a good man. A good man, a godly man. That imperfect man that will fall, but yet he is a good man because he have a relationship with God, Son, Jesus. Now, if you want to keep on going from man to man to man, even though you may spend years with a man, then you transition to another man, all you did was wasted your time. You may have got a little knowledge from the world, but you wasted your time. So, sisters, if you desire a good man, instead of listening to your girlfriend trying to hook you up, instead, especially those that ain't even got no man, or like I said, they got a piece of a man, a third of a man, and they going through means and all that kind of stuff. Don't listen to your girlfriend. They got their own problem. Don't listen to your family members that want to hook you up. Don't listen to your co-workers that want to hook you up. Don't listen to these guys that jumping in your inbox when you're on social media. Don't listen to them. Pray to God. That's the first thing you do. Pray to God to cause a good man to find you. And when you pray to God for a good man to find you, guess what? God will have your wife ready. And when God have your wife ready, he's going to cause this man to approach you. That's how God does it. God always bring a woman to a man. He always does it. God bring a man that follow after him a good woman. God does the matchmaking. He bring a good man to a good woman. And when God bring you to that man, sister, it's the responsibility of the man and you to work on the marriage. Some people think once you get married, that's it. You relax. Marriage is, once you say I do, you never get a day off. That's what a lot of you brother and you sisters need to understand. Once you say I do, you don't have no off days when you get married. You don't have no off days. You can have breaks, but you don't have no off days. You on the clock 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You on the clock. I hope, brothers, and I hope, sisters, that you all got something out of this. This will help you, sisters, greatly. It will help you greatly. Now, let me tell you something. If you don't use this recipe, you're going to be on social media. You're going to be with your girlfriend, or you're going to be at home on Friday night with your leg propped up on the sofa, eating some ice cream, looking at Lifetime and stuff like that. And you're going to have some tissue by you crying, and you're going to be looking at all that romantic stuff, right? Because you ain't got a man. Or you might have your little dog by you, and you're petting your best friend on the head, right? Your little dog. And the only thing your dog could do is lick your face and jump up on you. Your dog can't talk to you. If your dog could talk to you, you would probably drop the dog and run out the house. But your little cat. There's nothing wrong with a dog and cat, but a dog and a cat is not no man. God designed you, sister, if you have desire for a member of the opposite, he designed for it to be a man, not an animal. A man. If you brothers and sisters have any comments, you can ask. Or if you have a question, if you have a comment, you can put it out there. If you have a question, you can ask. All you have to do is put the word wait there. And when you put the word wait in the comment box, I will wait to see what your comment is, and we can elaborate on it. Or if you have a question, I will answer the question. All you have to do is put the word wait. If you don't have no comment or question, I will encourage you, brother and sister, to get one of these carrot plates, put it in the refrigerator, And if you get a little hungry late on the night, you could go to it again and share with some more family members and friends, okay? I would like to tell you that, my brother and sister, I am here. I talk about relationships. Am I an expert on relationships? No, I'm not. Have I had all my relationships been successful? No, they haven't. I have fallen several times when it comes to relationship, my brother and sister. However, when I decided to do it God's way, I stopped going in a circle. And when God came in, he lifted me up. If you're with the wrong person, my brother and sister, all you're going to do is go in a circle. But when God brings the right person to you, man or woman, you're going to be elevated. And when God elevates you, those people that you dealt with in the past, when you talk to them, when you see them, they doing the same thing. They talking the same way. They doing the same thing. They going in a circle. They get up doing the same thing. They go to bed doing the same thing. You talk to them, it's the same thing over and over again. They're not elevated. And the only way they're going to elevate, they're going to need God in their lives. Because you see, they're in a circle in the valley, walking around in that little valley. They see the mountain, but they ain't even got the strength to climb. When God bring that right person together, because that right person, brother and sister, is on the mountain, that ram in the bush, that's the person for you. But brothers and sisters, now you brother, you got to understand this. If you're with the wrong man or woman, you need to walk away. You single brother and you single sister, if you're with the wrong person, that wrong person wasting your time. How long you going to go in circles, sisters and brothers? How long you going to go in a circle? Don't you want to be elevated? Don't you want to be elevated with the right man or the right woman? You think you can't do no better? Yes, you can do better, my brothers and sisters. That current person, this for you brothers too, the current person that you're with, you could do better. You could elevate. You can go up, you can climb out the mountain, and you will be on the top of the mountain, because God has that ram in the bush for you on the top of the mountain. The ram in the bush. Don't you want your ram in the bush, my brother? Don't you want your ram in the bush, my sister? God had the right man, the right woman for you. As a matter of fact, I always say that God had that person in mind before you was born. You just wasted time. You did it your way, sister. You did it your way, brother. You were wasting time. You, brother, and you, sister, you could have been with the right person in a short period of time if you would have went to God earlier. And I always say that just like the children of Israel, if they would have done it God's way, they would not have been going in a circle in the wilderness for 40 years. They were going to the wilderness for 40 years because they were doing it their way. 40 years. And it would have took just 11 days to get to the land of milk and honey. But they stayed stuck like Chuck for 40 years, going in a circle, when it only could have took 11 days to cross over to get to the land of milk and honey. Brothers and sisters, don't you want to go to the land of milk and honey when it comes to relationship? Yes, but the most important relationship, my brother and sister, is your relationship with God's Son, Jesus. Make sure that relationship is secure. Before a man or a woman, make sure that relationship is secure, because that is a guaranteed relationship. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. I hope that you listen, remember, believe it. C'est la vie. Peace out.